look, leaders in the Azhar. I mean, we want you to lead us. We want you to deliver the khutbah and lead us in salat. He's very shy. He knows he can't make the grade. But they force him. He said, look, you man, such a nice big beard, lovely turban and lovely clothes. So they forced him. The poor fellow goes onto the mimbar and he says, do you know what I'm going to speak about? So they said, yes. Oh, I says, then I don't have to waste my time. You know what I'm going to speak about, so why waste time? You know it. So he got himself, recused. He freed himself. The following Friday he's still in the town, so they catch him again. He says, you must. So he goes on to the mimbar again, Jummah time, for the khutbah, and he's asking the same question. He says, do you know what I'm going to speak about? So they decided, they said, no, this guy, when he said last week, when we said, we know, he got scot-free. They said, no, we don't know. So he said, look, in that case, he says, no sense in talking to you. No, I'm sorry. So the following week, they're still in the same city. So they prod him again onto the mimbar. And he poses the same question. You see, people don't learn. He's posing the same question. He said, do you know what I'm going to speak about? So they had decided, they said, look man, this guy got off twice. This time we'll make doubly sure that we catch him. So he said, half of us must say yes, and half of us must say no. So they did it, exactly. Half said yes, half said no. So he said, look, those of you who know, tell the others who don't know. And he got off again. I don't think I have that chance. So, incest. It's a small word, but incest, you see, when you go about, gallivanting, and you go and interfere with somebody else's wife or daughter out of marriage, we call it zina. It's adultery, fornication. That you know. See, out of marriage, have any relationship with a woman is zina, fornication. But if you did the very same thing with your mother, that's incest. If you did it with your daughter, that's incest. If you did it with your sister, is incest. If you did it with your daughter-in-law, is incest. And there are 5 cases of incest in this book of God in inverted commas. Book of God, I say in inverted commas. I don't say it's the book of God. But there are 5 cases of incest in the first book of the Bible. As if it is a textbook on incest. To tell you, now what types of incest can you commit? You might not have the imagination. So it tells you, see, you can do it with your daughters, you can do it with your sister, you can do it with your mother, you can do it with your daughter-in-law. 5 different cases of incest. In a book of God, God took the trouble of dictating to Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. So he can write about Lut, a brother in prophethood. Lut alayhi salam. After the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, we are told in this first book that he goes and lives in a place, in a cave, in Zoar, with his 2 daughters. And night after night, the daughters make the father drink and seduce him and collect his seed. They collect the father's seed. It's a noble thought they had. Our father is old, and there is not another man on earth who can come into us in the manner of men. So he says, come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him so that we may preserve the seed of our father. Ignoble thought. What a thought. And they did it to the father. And the firstborn gave birth to a child called Moab, and the second one gave birth to a child called Ammon, from whom we get the Ammonites and the Moabites. And these were blessed by God. God blessed them. When the Jews were told to go and kill the Palestinians, the Philistines, God tells them, according to this holy book, go and kill them all, men, women, and children. Even sucklings are not to be spared. Little children sucking the mother's breast, even they are not to be spared. Wipe them out. And even donkeys were slain. I said, what sins did the donkeys commit? What harm could they have done to you? On another occasion, the same God of mercy, according to the Bible, he's telling the Jews, repeats the same formula, go and kill them all, men, women, and children. Only virgins you must pay for yourself, which no man hath known. And they got for themselves, out of the Palestinian woman, 32,000 virgins, which no man had known. And out of that, 32 was for the Lord God, his share. Can you imagine God having a share in your virgins? I'm asking, what does he do with virgins? No, in the name of the Lord, the priest will enjoy them. Khabis. And you say it's the book of God. God talking like that? Then you must go and find them out. Which is virgin, if she is not a virgin, kill her. Little children, of course, kill her. With a male or female, kill her. But if they're big enough, and you think they can come into use, verify. Verify. How do you verify? Astaghfirullah. Book of God? I says no. This is not the book of God, nor is it the book of Moses. Why would he go and drop his brother prophet down to that level of committing incest with his own daughters? Then they tell you that Ibrahim alayhi salam committed incest with his sister. They say Sarah was his sister. Then they tell you that Reuben, one of the sons of Yaqub alayhi salam, he goes and cohabits with his mother on the roof. And he said Israel was told. People told him, he said, look, your son was enjoying his mother on the roof. And he didn't even say oof. He didn't even say ah. He didn't even say poof. Nothing. Nothing. Not one word from him. Imagine. As he was very happy to hear the news. Then Judah, the father of the Jewish race, from whom we get the word Judea, from whom we get the word Judaism, Huda, Yahuda, Yahudi, Judah. He goes and cohabits with his daughter-in-law by the roadside. He's going to Timnah to shear his sheep, and he sees this woman sitting by the wayside, and he thinks she's a prostitute, a harlot. So he comes up to her and he says, allow me to I'm only reading the Holy Bible. He says, allow me to come in unto thee. This is classical King James English, which, no, King James English. This, our Jimmy Swaggart, he takes oath by this. This is the best Bible that there is, and I'm quoting from there, his Bible, King James Version. It says, allow me to come in unto thee. So she says, what will thou give me? He said, I'll give you a kid from the flock, a goat kid. So what guarantee that thou will give it? Because after you enjoy and you're gone, maybe I never see you again. He said, what guarantee do you want? He said, your signet, means your ring and your bracelet. Maybe they used to wear those things those days. And your staff, the rod of Moses. Asa. So the old man gave it to her, and he cohabited with his daughter-in-law and made her pregnant, and she bore twins. And these twins, Phares and Zara, are the great-grandfathers of Jesus Christ in the Holy Bible. First chapter of Matthew, first book of the New Testament, chapter 1, verse 1, it begins, this is the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of Abraham, the son of David. And Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren, and Judas begat Phares and Zara of Tamar. Who are these? Look at Genesis chapter 38. It tells you he's a father-in-law, cohabiting with his daughter-in-law, and produces bastard children, children of incest, and they are the great-grandfathers of the Christian God Jesus Christ. A man who had no genealogy, they go and give him a genealogy, 2 genealogies. Between the 2, they give him 66 fathers and grandfathers. A man who had no father, they give him 66 fathers and grandfathers. And God is not one of them. Can you imagine? He is the son of God, but he is not there in either genealogy. My son is here at the back. Imagine me dictating to you his genealogy. And I give to him, from memory, 66 fathers and grandfathers. But I'm not one of them. I'm not one of those 66. What am I telling you? What am I telling you? That he's a bastard 66 times over. No? What does it mean? I give you 66 fathers and grandfathers to my son, but I am not one of them. What am I saying? A man who had no father, they give him 66. And out of the 66, there are 6 bastards and begetters of bastards, according to their own records. In the book of God, is this the book of God? I says, I can go endlessly. The New Testament, it begins. Every book, new book begins. Matthew, it says the gospel according to Saint Matthew, the gospel according to Saint Mark, the gospel according to Saint Luke, the gospel according to Saint John. I'm asking, what is according? Why according to? I write little books as well, But you'll find my name there by Ahmed Deedat. It's not according to Ahmed Deedat. If you wrote it, thinking that I had said or I meant such and such a thing, then you can say,